welcome. Man, we are so excited that you are tuning in to Marriage Life Now today.
Yes.
Man, you don't even understand how long we have prepared for this moment.
Wow.
And Tara and I are so excited
Oh my God.
to have you here viewing our first episode of Marriage Life Now. And I know you've been wondering for a couple of weeks because you've been seeing it coming soon. You've been seeing posts of what is Marriage Life Now. Well, Marriage Life Now is simply what I said before. It's you taking an inventory of your marriage today, this present moment, man.
Right now.
This present moment in your marriage, and trying to figure out why are we getting the results that we're getting as it relates to our marriage. Some of you guys have great marriages and some of you don't have great marriages. Well, this episode is geared for you all, but not just you, but those that are anticipating on being married, as well as those that are in committed relationships. Man, our life is going to be open, like an open book to you guys.
Wow.
To help you, man,
Oh my
help you
goodness. Oh my goodness.
not have some of the same pitfalls that we had
That's right.
in our marriage. So that's what marriage life is. Marriage life is just taking a good inventory of your marriage and figuring out how can I make it better.
Right.
That's what Tara and I did. We took a good inventory of ourselves first, got pull out the weeds, just like, you know, if you got a garden or you know, you like nice green grass like I do, sometimes you have weeds to develop. And if you don't take a good inventory of your garden, those weeds will eventually overtake it. So it's time, sometimes you got to go in and pull out those weeds from your garden, from your grass, so you can have the best fruit and the best yard on your block. And man, we want you to have the best marriage that people will look at it and be like, man, I want to have a marriage just like that. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So tune in, stay here, don't go nowhere.
Don't go anywhere.
Don't go nowhere, because we're going to be talking about what is marriage, how do marriage become what it become, and our objective. Just shared with you what is marriage, what marriage life is all about. So how did we get here? How did marriage life actually get here, babe?
Well, we're talking about marriage life right now.
Right now.
Right now. So when you talk about all the things you just mentioned, we're thinking about all the different people. Yes, some people have good marriages.
Yeah.
Some people don't. And then some people may start off good, and then throughout the relationship, it turns out different than they expected.
Yeah,
so that's
absolutely.
why so many people are separating, so many people are getting a divorce. And we've had people that we've known over the years, people that we've in our families that have gotten divorced, and that's not what we want. And we were heading in that direction. So in the process of our marriage, we've had so many challenges, and early on in our marriage, it started so soon, I couldn't believe it, but God showed me that we were supposed to be helping so many other couples in their relationship.
Hold on, you talking about early on.
Yeah, I mean, we've been married 19 years.
Man,
and
19 years
early
going
in
strong.
our relationship, God told me that we were supposed to be helping others. And
Wow.
I couldn't understand how in the world you and I are going to help somebody else in their relationship when we having all the problems in our relationship.
Right.
So we know that others are having issues in their relationship. And so when he told me that, I kind of shied away from it because I didn't understand how I'm going to help someone else, but people were constantly coming to me and asking me for assistance for their relationship.
Wow.
And I had a nerve to have the answer for them.
Watch that. And that's how some of you all are right now. People looking at your marriage and be like, man, y'all got y'all thing working. and they coming to you for advice, and you yourself are having major challenges
How was that? How
in
was
your
that?
marriage, but you're able to give an answer to someone else's situation,
Right.
but can't even come up with that same answer for yours.
Yeah, so when this was happening, and I just wondering, Lord, okay, I'm giving them an answer. God, show me what I need to do in my own relationship.
Right.
Because when we were having problems, I'm sitting here looking at you like, God, you can't be serious.
And I'm looking at her.
Like, come on, you can't be serious. How is this going to work? So I just try to just take a look at myself and say, God, tell me what you want me to do. I'm just going to be committed in this. And so I started making changes. I started making changes in my relationship, trying to make better decisions. And I saw the results in me, but I still wasn't seeing it in my husband yet. But I still just continued on, and time passed. And then later on, you tell them what happened with you.
Man, with me, it's crazy because in all actuality, we shouldn't have even got married from the very beginning. I had major issues in my life that I never even dealt with from the very beginning. So what I did, I just brought those issues and those challenges and those burdens right into a covenant relationship with this woman. And man, that thing magnified like crazy.
Yeah.
And it showed in our marriage. Now on the exterior, we was looking like, you know, the perfect couple. You know, we had it all together. We had the appearance all together. But when we got back home, behind closed doors and in private, our marriage was just trash. I'm literally talking trash. And some of you all marriages is just like that. You got everything together. You got the nice job, you got the nice cars, you got the nice home. But then, you know, you get behind closed doors and man, their marriages is just going down the toilet and you don't have a clue of how to stop it or how to get control of it. Well, with me, God asked me a question. He said told me, he said, Jerome, look at your marriage. And I said, okay. I looked at it and he said, why do your marriage look the way it look right now? I said, well, God, I made some major decisions. I made some major turns to cause my marriage to be where it is right now. He said, okay, now look at your marriage before. And tell me what was the cause of why your marriage wasn't looking before like it is looking right now. And when I did that, I had to remove my wife out of the equation and just focus more on me. And when I focused on me, I saw the bad, I saw the ugly, man, I saw things that even myself wasn't even proud of. And I couldn't share it. I felt as though I couldn't share it with anyone. I couldn't tell the people that was around me how nasty I looked on the inside. And that nastiness just came out into my marriage, and we was going through things that, man,
it was a lot.
So like, man, you know, I have all these issues going on, and one major issue that I struggled with was telling the truth. Man, my words, man, I had it so perfected, lying so perfected, that I was believing some of the things.
Oh my gosh.
I was believing some of the things that I was saying out of my mouth. And it was reflecting in my marriage because I felt as though I could not be honest with you about things that really wasn't even that terrible. You know, I just chose to lie. It was like
really? Did you really have to?
Yeah, it was like second nature. And
Wow.
it was crazy. And you know, when you lie, you gotta tell another lie to build on top of that lie. So when I realized all of that, and like I said, there was a lot of different things that was taking place in my life. And guess what, y'all? I was in church. I was still going to church every Sunday, Bible study, you know, participating. And I had all of these major challenges just going on in my life.
But you know what? When I think about it, early on, over the years when you weren't being honest with me, and yes, it was extremely challenging for me because at this point in my life, honesty was so important to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it took time for me to finally come back and say, you know what? When I started looking at me, I started looking at me. And so many people sometimes forget about what they used to do. And I remember the times when I wasn't honest.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the times when I finally looked at myself. It made me say, you know what? I need to get deeper and figure out what is causing him to be dishonest. Does he feel like he can't tell me something?
Well, can I get back to me?
Sure,
You kind of
yeah,
like cut me off, man. Can I get back to my story?
But I'm just saying, that's what helped me
Right.
during that process.
Yeah.
To help you feel like, okay, what is causing you to be dishonest?
But you know what? It had nothing to do with you.
I do know that. I do know
Nothing
that.
to
I
do
do
with you
understand
at all.
that.
It was everything to do with me. And see, in marriages and even in relationships, we always want to shift the blame to someone else and make it seem like they the reason why we having all this confusion in our relationship.
Right.
When actually you just have not taken a good look at yourself. So I had to take that good look at myself. And when I saw what I saw, I did not like what I seen. So therefore, I made drastic changes in my life.
Yeah.
I pulled away, I pulled back. I caused myself not to be so busy. I pulled back. The Spirit of God was telling me to pull back. I pulled back, and I kind of isolated myself to develop myself. And that was my routine. I'm not saying that is good for everybody, but for me, I had to pull back. And when I pulled back, that's when I saw Jerome.
Yeah.
When I got to a quiet point in my life, I saw Jerome. And Jerome had to work on Jerome, even though I was still in my marriage.
Right.
So I had to work on Jerome and work on my marriage. Work on Jerome and work on my marriage. Work on Jerome and work on my marriage. And guess what? In time, all the work that I done paid off.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
it really paid off. And that's why we're sitting here right now talking to you guys, because it requires work.
Yeah. Yeah.
It requires work to have a good marriage.
Yeah, and it takes both people. It's not just one side. Not saying that one can't start it off first. Because if you're having problems in your relationship, somebody's got to start.
Yes.
So it's going to take both of you to really work on it. But somebody has to start. Somebody has to be the one to say, you know what? I want my marriage. You're going to have to make and choose that decision to say, hey, I want my marriage.
Tell me something. Tell the people how you felt knowing, because you said earlier that God told you that we're going to be talking to a lot of different couples and helping them. How did it make you really feel having a husband that was displaying all this negative stuff, but yet God showing you this huge picture about your marriage?
Yeah, it was really, I want to say it was extremely difficult for me. For God to tell me that, and then to see all the things that were going on in our relationship, it hurt me. It really hurt for me to know what we're supposed to be doing,
Right.
and then seeing everything that was going on in our relationship. That was very challenging for me. And then when someone would be having problems in your relationship, and then they would come to me and ask me, hey, what should I do? I can remember how it made me feel to be able to give them advice, different things to tell them what they should be doing. And my heart just felt so good to know that I was helping somebody else.
Right.
And it was when that was happening, it's like, oh my God, I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing, but how am I going to do this? And to see someone else's life change because of that, I don't even know how to put it in words when I saw a change in somebody else.
Yeah.
And I knew this is what I'm supposed to do, but how am I going to get here with my own marriage? And when you finally came and said, this is what we were supposed to be doing, I'm sitting back like, God, really? Are you serious? Finally, I knew. And it took years. It took years for us to get to this point.
Yeah.
Not saying we didn't have good times in our relationship. We absolutely did. We
And
had a lot of good times.
And that's
in
the
our
funny part
relationship.
about it. We had great times. We
We
went
did.
on vacations together.
We were good friends.
We traveled together. I mean, was there a time that we had how would I say it? Like
What you want to say? Really negative
the
times?
negative
Yes.
times, man.
Extremely.
Absolutely.
Extremely.
The
Extremely.
yelling, the fussing.
Yes.
I can't even remember a time her coming at me with a butcher knife.
Are you really gonna tell him that?
But
Yeah,
those the type
it
of
was serious.
serious moments that we had faced in our relationship.
Yeah.
And now, to see us now, you wouldn't even think that we went through some of those moments,
Yeah.
but we did.
We did.
I mean, we really did.
Oh, I remember that day. I remember that.
I mean,
day.
even to the point where family members had got involved.
Yeah.
It was, when I say crazy, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But guess what, guys? Marriage Life Now is here.
Yeah.
It is here. And we're here to help you get beyond that point with some practical tips. Man, we're going to provide you with some practical tips that's going to assist you right out of that challenging situation.
Right.
Sweetie, won't you just kind of like, tell them some of the things that we did and how we did it to make things work for our marriage.
Well, like I said previously, we made decisions. We made decisions to turn our relationship around.
Right.
We decided to make sure we weren't just doing, talking about having a good marriage.
Yeah.
We actually started doing some things. We started actually practicing some of the things that we did, watching different shows in regards to marriage, going to different programs where it was specifically about marriage, and we actually started just reading on different material that was going to help our relationship.
Absolutely.
So we have different things that we've experienced in our life, different things that we've been able to be successful in and overcome it.
So basically what you're saying is we invested in ourselves.
We absolutely did. We started investing in ourselves, and that's what we want you guys to do too. You say you want something different. I know you probably didn't think you were going to be in this particular situation in your marriage. You probably viewed it a lot different than what you're experiencing right now. So if you really want something different out of your relationship, you're going to have to do something different.
Not only that, you got to put in the work. Remember, I said I had to work on myself and work on my marriage all at the same time.
Right.
And if you have children, you're going to really have to dig deep because you don't want your children to grow up and mimic what they saw in you.
Right.
So you're going to have to work on yourself, your marriage, and your family all at one time, as well as maintaining your household. It can be very frustrating, but again, we're going to show you.
Yeah.
We're going to walk you through it. You give me 6 months. That's all I'm asking, 6 months of full commitment. Just stay committed to some of the things that Tara and I is going to say to you, and I guarantee you, you're going to see change that's going to come in your house and in your marriage. It's just that simple. I'm telling you, if I can change this marriage around, you can change
That's right.
your marriage around.
So don't forget to follow us. Make sure you like us. Make sure you're visiting our website at marriagelifenow.org. And even if you didn't hear something today that's specifically for your situation, you never know. Share it with someone. You don't know what someone else is going through. We've seen so many people where you don't even know that they're having challenges in their relationship. So do them a favor. If it's not for you right now, maybe one of the other topics is going to help you in your relationship. But make sure you share it with someone so that they can be blessed in their relationship as well.
Hey, and next week, we're going to start this thing off right because we found out, and even building our home, that there was some indications that we saw in our home and in our relationship that's similar. And we got to let you in on it. We're going to let you in on it as far as locating issues and how to recognize when you're having major issues and how to address it. So again, stay tuned and follow us.
Follow us on Facebook and
Follow
on
us
Instagram.
You see, I'm just so happy, man. I'm so happy that I'm doing something that's going to change the lives of people, and my words is getting twisted. But I got so much information for you. Trust me, I have so much information for you that you is going to benefit from it. So tune in. See you soon. Marriage Life Now.